Boxing King Media in association with Boxer. Delighted to be joined by Gareth A. Davis. Gareth, we're at a Misfits event. Gareth, I understand you're a big Misfits fan now.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of it. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't working, but I'm here. I'm employed to do some things on it with the platforms that I work for. I find it fascinating. Yes, it's very different. I'm observing and analysing. It's a different milieu. It's a different vibe and environment. But what I will say is, it has the ambience of a very big fight event. This is the kind of atmosphere you get in Las Vegas. It's the kind of atmosphere you get around big heavyweight fights. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua in the UK. It does feel big, and it was made big by a big crowd coming in for the weigh-ins, people queuing outside from several hours ago, and the guys hyping the event. Look behind me. They've still got that cage up there. It's very WWE, but that's just the way that these guys promote to their subscribers and their fan base.
They definitely do. I bet a lot of people would love to have a cage like that at home.
Why?
I don't know, just for fun.
Yeah, maybe. Talk for yourself. Speak for yourself.
I will. So let's talk about the big talking point, Gareth. Logan Paul yesterday, it looks like from the footage he got whacked in the head with a microphone. And from my understanding, he was cut, he's got a bruise, that's why he's wearing a mask today. But apparently they're allowing it to carry on. Is that normal to your understanding, or is that just the governing body that cover this side of boxing that are allowing it?
Well, I mean, look, he was wearing a balaclava, yeah, not a mask, and he kept his, yeah, he was wearing I'd call it a balaclava, but a ski mask, yeah. I think he will have been medically cleared yesterday. They will have looked at his eye. They will have checked it out. From the footage I saw, it was horrible as well. Logan Paul getting hit by a heavy microphone being thrown by the left hand of Dillon Danis from literally a couple of feet away. Very foolish thing of Dillon to do, because had that cut his eye really badly, this wouldn't have gone ahead. Obviously it is. He will have been medically cleared by the doctors. So in many ways, he got away with that. But he's given Logan Paul a reason to give him a beating tomorrow night. We don't know if Dillon Danis has any real boxing skills. We know he's a jiu-jitsu savant, jiu-jitsu training partner with Conor McGregor. So in many ways, he's just added fuel to the fire after that vicious trolling campaign that he's put on Nina Agdal and Logan Paul leading into this event, which he spoke to me about yesterday, did Dillon Danis, on he's disappointed there's a lawsuit, but maybe they feel like he's gone below the belt.
He definitely hasn't stopped his trolling. I think there's a fear from a lot of fans that that fight could just end up becoming a wrestling match, some sort of brawl, a DQ. I think you could probably put your money on that. It seems like that way.
A DQ is a good bet.
I don't bet, by the way.
No, I'm not saying you, but I mean, obviously it's to your subscribers, your millions of subscribers. The DQ is a very good bet, because it wouldn't surprise me to see someone get taken down in that fight. And like you say, it'd be a lot of grappling, because Logan Paul's done 8 rounds in an exhibition bout, of course, with Floyd Mayweather, and he's definitely got a lot more athletic and boxing experience in that way. Not athletic experience, but boxing experience, even though Dillon Danis is a fighter who's fought in MMA twice, and I covered his career in Bellator. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of intrigue there, and that's why it's a fascinating fight.
The main event, KSI, I've never seen so much confidence from KSI. He's normally quite a confident character anyway. But where do you think it's an act? Does he genuinely think he's going to walk through a guy that's naturally a lot bigger than him?
This is a guy, when you get to 45 million subscribers on your YouTube channel, you're only 90 times away from that. You've got 500,000, haven't you? Imagine if every time you did a video or every time you put something out, it turns to gold. I think it does with him. I like him. I've interviewed him several times now. That sounded like him, actually. Fascinating character. As Mams Taylor over there, his manager. Every time I've seen KSI or been around him, I find him a very fascinating individual. He's got so much going for him. Yeah, I think he's completely full of confidence. Look, Tommy Fury looked... there's a young man in the cage. The next...
I told you, people want these cages at home.
Yeah. Well, that's good for them. I think he's seen things in Tommy Fury. He's got a very good training team, KSI, the Dimitriades brothers at London Shoot Fighters. They're very steeped in fight sports. They know what they're doing. And I think in lots of ways, you could see that there are holes in Tommy Fury's game and they'll try and exploit them. One of those is Tommy not being allowed to lose, if you like. He loses, even if he wins in a way. He doesn't lose in his bank balance, but he's expected to win, isn't he? Whether he likes it or not, boxing, the boxing purists, the boxing world wants him to win. There is pressure on him. You could see the relief when he beat Jake Paul in Diriyah in the Middle East earlier on in the year. There was tremendous relief for him having got the victory. He's got the pressure of his father behind him, the pressure of the Fury name. So KSI is trying to play on that. I don't think Tommy Fury, after the first few flurries from KSI, if he doesn't land, will have much to worry about. Because as we know, that stiff jab lands on KSI and it will slow and it will tell his brain to stop marching forwards. And I think that's why I think Tommy Fury will either take over in the fight and decide he's going to throw his hands and try and stop KSI. It wouldn't surprise me if he stopped him in the fourth round, but it wouldn't surprise me if he outboxed him and just kept him on the end of the jab as well, if KSI doesn't start marching forwards and wins on points.
Well, that's an interesting breakdown of a fight that may not even end up being that technical. It may end up just being a full-on brawl.
There won't be.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, no.
Pick a winner and...
When have you seen Tommy Fury just go out and have a brawl?
I just mean because it seems like KSI and his team have tried their best all week to wind up John, Tommy.
Well,
maybe that.
Going in there. No, John and KSI will be a brawl. I think it'll be very one-sided. But I just think Tommy will be looking at. If Logan Paul wins tomorrow night, do you not think he's going to fight Tommy Fury next, or Jake Paul have a rematch? So they don't want to lose that fight. They don't want to lose the Fury name. So there will be a degree of safety. They'll be treating it like a boxing match. They'll be treating the guy seriously and properly. So it's interesting. Can't wait to do the broadcast. It's great to see you.
It is. Last thing I want to ask you, just one last question. We saw earlier this week Eubank Junior, Ben, and a report was put out saying that the fight's virtually done. I did speak to
Eddie
Callum.
Hearn, yeah? Eddie Hearn said it, yeah.
No, it was a newspaper article basically saying inside information. It was the reporter Wraith who reported the failed test. Riyadh, sorry, yeah, that's him. And then
from the Daily Mail.
That's him. And then I spoke to Khaled, and he's basically saying it's not signed. He was quite coy about it, as you know, Khaled normally is.
Yeah.
Are you hearing anything? You must have some inside information.
Yeah, well, I've spoken to Eddie Hearn this week, and he's saying he's going ahead with it on the 23rd. But obviously,
it will clash with Fury Usyk if it's
well,
on the same
if they do, they're going to get blown out of the water, because there's no way that Ben Eubank is going to sell the numbers that Fury against Usyk's going to sell. So they won't have that on the same night, and they won't have it in Abu Dhabi on the same night. It makes utter nonsense of doing that. And my sources tell me that there is a real appetite, if Fury comes through cleanly against Francis Ngannou, to get that Fury-Usyk fight on December the 23rd.
You don't think either side's bluffing each other then?
I don't know, but I think it doesn't surprise me. When I speak to the team around Tyson Fury and the Riyadh season, look at what they're doing. If they want to do it, they'll go and do it. They've got the appetite, the funding, the desire, wanting to shift the paradigm. If they want to do it, they'll do it.
This is the last question.
I thought the last question was the last.
It's related to that.
Am I being paid for this last question?
Hopefully, very soon.
I'm doing overtime now.
Hopefully soon. But if you had to put money on one of the fights happening, whether it's Fury, Usyk, or Ben Eubank, which one do you think is more than likely going to happen on that date?
Like you, I don't bet.
If you was going to make a prediction.
I don't bet.
Prediction.
I don't remember.
Which one more likely going to happen? Which one will get over the line?
Fury, Usyk.
Interesting thoughts on that note. I'm sure the fans will get excited. Gareth, thank you for your time.
It's always a pleasure, my friend, and I hope you're well.
I'm well.